Well, I had this new idea for a roller coaster, and it has like an awesome loop-de-loop, and it has like a crazy drop where you can't see anything. So I'm thinking of even
Hi,
maybe like blindfolding
everyone.
people who get onto it. That sounds awesome.
Hi,
Oh,
everyone.
good. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. And
Hi.
Jayla, can I get everyone looking forward, please? Hello.
Hello.
My name's Mrs.
Hi.
Cole, and I will be taking your lesson today. How is everyone?
Really good. I really like your glasses. I wish that I got to wear glasses because they make you look so smart.
Thank you. They help me see. That's the most important thing. Now,
That's cool.
how familiar is everyone here with shapes? So, like 2D shapes, like things like the square, or can anyone think of another 2D shape for me?
Yep. We've been doing. Yep. We're pretty good with shapes. What about a circle
Yeah,
or a triangle?
perfect. And have you discussed previously as well about 3D shapes?
I think maybe a little bit.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so I'm not sure how clear this will be, but I've also got some real life objects that we can think about that are 3D shapes as well as a 2D. So a 2D shape is usually a flat shape. So like we said, a triangle or a square, it's usually a flat shape on a bit of paper, or it might be a digital thing. But when we think about a 3D shape, we're bringing it into kind of like, a real life setting. So if you think about here, for example, if you were just to look at this on a page, it would be a circle. But then when it becomes a 3D object like this, so see how it's like a tube, this then becomes a cylinder.
Oh, okay. I think I get it.
Yeah.
That looks like the
So,
thing in Willy Wonka when the first boy gets stuck in the chocolate factory tube and then he goes up with
yeah.
the chocolate.
Yeah. So that tube would be
That was
considered a
funny.
cylinder. And then
Yeah.
also when we think about, say, a circle as well, and then we think about, like the globe, of the Earth that spins around, or like the Earth itself, we would call that a sphere. So if we get the ball like this, for example, if you see this in the playground, this would
Mhm.
be a sphere.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So once it's flat on your paper, it's a circle, but then when it becomes 3D, it becomes a sphere. So I've got a few other examples here. So I'm
I
going
have
to
a
hold this.
question.
Yeah.
So because like a pizza is shaped like a circle, does that mean that if it became a sphere, then you would have like a big ball of pizza?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
would be
gosh.
like
Yum.
a big ball of pizza, because a sphere in essentially would be a large round item, kind of like the ball. So if it was a pizza and it's flat, it wouldn't be the sphere. But then if it became up like this, like a big ball, like a ball of mozzarella, which like you usually gets grated on top of
Mm,
pizzas, that then becomes
yum.
a sphere.
I'm
So
getting
now,
hungry.
um, when we're thinking about that, can anyone think of anything, whether it's around them or maybe in their pencil case, that could be not just a 2D shape, but it could be a 3D shape? And we could maybe think about what that would be called.
Hmm.
Maybe, for example, like your glue stick.
Oh, yes. The glue stick. Yep.
Yep.
That would be 3D.
Yep. And what kind of
Actually,
shape do we think it would be?
Um, what was the one that you said before?
Cylinder.
The that one. Yes, that one.
Yep. Perfect. That's a great example. What about you, Carlos?
well, I was wondering about the pens in my pencil case would probably be that they're 3D shapes because they're not flat.
Yeah. So it kind of would be like a cylinder shape. However, usually cylinders are flat on either side. So then a pen, if the lid was on a pen, then probably, but if it was a pen like this, you wouldn't really say that's a cylinder because it's not flat on either side. If we think about something like, what's a great example if you think about home? And once you start to learn about 3D shapes, you really start to see them everywhere. Like even when you think about, say, a tower, like a tall tower in the city, and it has, levels and it's a square tower, all of a sudden you go, oh, well, hold on. What kind of shape is that then? Or if it's a rounded shape. Sorry, Will, what was your question?
Oh, I was just gonna say the rubber in my pencil case.
That's a great example. So the rubber, there's kind of different names. So the rubber, because it is when it's flat, what would you say if it was flat? What kind of shape is it, the rubber?
A rectangle.
Perfect. So with a rectangle, it can then be called a rectangular prism.
Oh,
It also can be called a cuboid. So it just kind of depends. There are some different terms, but probably the rectangular prism is an easier one to remember because it still has the word rectangular in it. So like if you think about your television remote at home, if you have one like this, it looks like a rectangle, but then it's not flat, like our remotes aren't flat. So kind of like your rubber as well, Will. It's that similar shape. So with all
Oh.
this in mind, how would we feel about if we broke up into groups and went out into the playground and looked in our natural environment and thought of the different shapes there and see if we can find any 3D shapes in the playground? How would we feel about that?
That would be awesome. I love going outside and it's so sunny outside.
That's always great. It would be a bit more awkward if it was raining. What about Emily? How do
Yeah.
you feel about doing that?
Mm, Good.
Good. Do you feel confident that you could find something outside, whether it's on the playground or it's in nature that you could find?
Mm, Well, maybe I could find something, but I don't know if I would have the right name for it.
That's okay. That's actually a really great thing because it means that when we come back inside, we'll be able to look at what we've collected and the shapes, and we'll be able to look at the chart that I'll put up on the board. And we'll be able to look and compare the shapes that we found and be able to identify exactly the right names and everything for them.
Okay.
What about, is it Mina?
So yes, Mina.
Yes.
Yep, I
How do
think
you
I'll be
feel
able to
about
find
that?
something. I want to find a flower or something. Would a flower be 3D?
So the stem of a flower probably would be 3D. It just depends about what type of flower you found and what the shape of the flower is. It could more be that
Okay.
elements of the flower are 3D.
Okay. Maybe I'll find
Just
something easier.
yeah. Things like what about in your playground at your classroom, in your school? The playground, the poles that hold up the playground. When you think about
Oh,
them,
yeah,
they're like large cylinders when we think about it
that's true.
that hold up the playground. Or you may find like balls out in the playground is a really good one. I had my little mini
Mhm,
basketball. But when you think about a
mhm.
basketball or a soccer ball or a netball, all of them have one thing in common, and that's that they're a sphere.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So we might find some other things in the environment, even really um, there may even be things in like the fence and things like that outside that have the different 3D shapes in it.
Okay.
Okay, Jayla, how do you
I want
feel
to
about
find a spider because I think a spider would be 3D.
Yeah, but Carlos, if you bring a spider back into this classroom, I'm going to run away screaming. So don't you dare bring it back with you.
So to
Okay, I
combat
won't.
that
I'm not going to
one,
do that because I don't want to scare the spider.
what we're also going to take out with us is the iPad. So we'll be able to take some pictures, and that would be great if it's something that's a little bit in the distance
Cool.
because you'll be able to use the camera to zoom in. And we're also going to take our notebook outside as well and do some drawings of the items because obviously we can't exactly bring back in the pole from the playground to show that it's a cylinder. So we're going to do some drawings and also take the iPad out and take some photos as well.
Cool.
Okay,
It's
great.
like
Sounds
maths meets
good.
photography meets art class, and I like it.
Exactly. All right. End simulation.
Okay, well done.
I think I had
So
about
just a couple of
10
questions.
seconds to go. Sorry.
Yes. No, all good. All good. That's perfect. Right on time. So, just a couple of questions before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Firstly, what do you think that you did well during your session?
I feel like hopefully I called on everyone enough to make sure that they're engaging. Especially one of the students was writing down a lot of notes, which is great. But it was just also to see if she was just, I mean, I couldn't see exactly what she was writing down. So I just wanted to ensure that she was engaging as well. Um, uh, Hopefully I spoke clearly, and I also feel like maybe, I mean, in a real life classroom it'd be easier to have a video or a physical poster or something like that. So that's why I also tried to bring in like real life props to be able to still feel like it was more like a teaching environment.
Sure. Fantastic. And is there anything that you would do differently?
um yes, probably. Like I think it's difficult because it's like on Zoom, and also maybe about like it would be great if I could share my screen, because then at least we could go over a poster. Um, so maybe something like that. Um, yeah. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I guess that was
Great.
is what feedback is for. Sorry.
Sure. Sure. No, all good. Thank you very much.